The interview that everyone's been asking me to do with Peter Mcdonagh. Peter, how are we doing?
Yeah, very good. How you doing?
I'm good. You know, people ask me to interview all the time, and we finally made it happen. Tell us what's going on with you at the moment.
At the moment, just in training camp, obviously Team Fury up in Bolton. Hoping to fight May 12th.
Yep.
Just wanted to see if we can get the ban lifted.
Right.
I'm due 2 weeks after that for the ban to be lifted, but hopefully we get it lifted before then.
Talk to us very quickly about the ban. What was all around it? What happened?
I got banned due to pushing chain singleton at the weigh-in. Bit of argy-bargy, but obviously you've got to take what you get. But I think it's a bit harsh, and hopefully it'll get lifted.
The thing between yourself and Sam Singleton.
Yeah.
What was all that? Was that genuine, or was it just a hype thing?
It's a hype thing to build the fight up, you know. I respect every fighter I fight, you know. So, which I showed respect in the fight.
Yep.
He didn't show no respect, but obviously tried to touch gloves and things at the end, and he didn't want to do it. But you know, what happened, and it was gone. And I wanted to leave it at that, but he carried it on. But as I say, what can I do, you know? So,
what's going to happen with you in your career? I mean, you're now a little older. Do you pay that into your mind? Is that something that plays into your mind, age and stuff, or do you think, you know what, I'm going to crack on, I'm going to get on with it?
Listen, every fight. When I signed I signed a 4-year contract, 5-year contract. Signed a contract 5 years ago with MTK.
Right.
And I said, I shook hands, and I said, as soon as I lose, it's over. 5 years later, I'm still here. You know, I've just signed another contract now, an extra 10 years. Looking to go on to I'm 50, like Bernard Hopkins.
You're joking?
Yeah, serious.
10 years? Wow. Wow. So when did you do that?
The other day. I flew out to Dubai and signed a 10-year contract.
10-year contract? But what happens if you don't? Like,
I've got to fulfil it now. I've got to fulfil the contract.
So you'll be fighting for 10 years now?
If I don't, I'll end up being a slave.
Wow. But that's a serious contract. For a man like yourself, that's a serious contract. How are you going to honour that?
Just got to keep working hard, haven't I? Keep these young bucks down, you know.
So what division are you in? Talk to us about the division you're in.
Light middleweight division.
Okay. I don't know if this is a redundant question to ask, but do you want to be a world champion?
100%.
Yeah?
I will be world champion.
What do you think it's going to take for you to become a world champion now?
Just keep winning. Just keep winning, and I'll get the opportunity. I mean, Singleton at the time was #2 in Britain. The only person that beat him was Skeet. Me and Skeet, obviously I'll leave it at that, but you know, the fight we had, you know, I feel different to what he did, and maybe it can happen again. We're good friends and we get on well, but you know, maybe that fight can happen again.
Skeet now fighting for the European title. Should he win the European title, would you be interested in that?
100%. 100%.
Liam Smith, he's fighting Ali for the world title. How do you think that fight goes?
Very, very good fight, Liam Smith. Very underrated. Best of the Smith brothers.
Yep.
I mean, people like to say, you know, Callum's the best. Liam's definitely the best at the Smith brothers. I can see him beating Ali points decision or late stoppage.
Okay. Kell Brook is now in your division, right? Like middleweight.
Yep.
What do you think of Brook now? One left eye, the right eye.
Listen, Brook looked very good last time out. What I was hearing in the gyms about whatever Redenko was, whatever his name is, he was washed up and he was smashed to pieces. And I think it showed in the fight, you know. There was no stern test in front of him, but it's good to see Brook back. He was in a dark place, and you know, I respect every fighter, and seeing people come through things like that, it's nice to see. You know?
Top of the division, Hurd and Lara are fighting. Any thoughts?
I fancy Lara.
Yeah?
Yeah, I fancy Lara.
People talking about Hurd and his size.
Yeah.
Does that really matter?
No. Skill. Listen, if you've got skill and you've got brains, you know you can beat anyone. Mayweather's proved that, big or small or whatever they are, you know.
Yeah.
And like I say, even with age now, when you become older, if you're cute with it, you're clever with it, you know, you can get through fights and you can, you know, without getting hit and getting marked up, and you know, so it's you know what I mean? I've got another few years left in me yet.
Khan versus Brook. Talk of Khan fighting him at welterweight. Brook wants it a light middleweight. What do you think is going to happen in all this? Do you think they actually face one another?
I don't think it'll ever happen. Khan's got the speed, Brook's got the power. Who do I go with? I've got to go with Brook. You know, although I like Khan, I've got to go with Brook because I think Brook's got the power. He's got the ring knowledge. You know, Khan's very one-dimensional. Although he's got the fast hands, he's very one-dimensional.
Let's talk big fights. Brown, White.
Fancy Dillian White. Dillian White points. I fancy not being at the Barnstorm where everyone thinks it's going to be.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a hug fest.
Okay.
You know?
Joshua Parker.
Do you know what? Something tells me, people sound crazy, I fancy Parker to beat him.
Okay.
You know, and why I fancy that is if he takes a shot, he holds a shot. If Parker can get inside him, roughing him up, take him into the later rounds, you know. And I see Joseph the other day on TV, and he looked in very, very good shape. So, you know, it's an interesting fight. And who's to say if Parker goes on and wins that fight? Who's to say you don't get the rematch?
Here's a fight I think is MTK fighter involved. David Price, Povetkin. You know something? I'm going with Price.
Nah, listen, I like David Price, and obviously he's an MTK fighter, but listen, the last fight I commentated on his last fight, I didn't see nothing that's going to beat Povetkin, and you know, he's a nice man and that, and he had a good career going through. But
what about that right hand? If it lands on Povetkin, if that right hand lands,
yeah, I know, but it's, I don't know. No, I can't see it happening.
You can't see it happening.
I'd love to see it happen. I'd love to see David Price. He's a lovely man.
Yeah.
I can't see it happening.
Okay, let's talk Caleb Truax, De Gale rematch.
Let's see what De Gale's got left. You know? Yeah, finish. Yeah, I mean, again, I know James well, and you know, every fight comes to the end of the day.
Yeah.
Even like me old self.
Yep.
Benjamin Button's going to get older one day.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Instead of younger. So, yeah, no, I fancy you can do the double. You know.
It's an interesting question for you. What's the most misunderstood thing about you, Peter?
I used to do modelling.
You
used to do modelling. I used to do modelling.
Oh, you used to model?
That's the model, yeah.
So is that the truth?
The truth.
And
no, they only had me modelling balaclavas though, that's the problem. No, the most thing about me, I think, is I've never took it serious until the last 4 or 5 years of my life, and I take boxing very serious now. 2 little girls, and reason why I've obviously went with I went with Peter. I've known Peter years, but I'll be honest with you, every other trainer I've had no respect for him, and like within the training camp, I used to just do what I wanted, mess around. But with Peter, you can't do that.
the Peter Fury factor. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
I've heard the rumours.
Yeah.
I've heard the stories.
Yeah.
I've seen the results.
Yeah.
Now I'm in here, watching you guys. What's it like being with Peter Fury? What's it like him training you?
Horrible.
Well, okay, that's about right.
Yeah.
And the respect.
Yeah, it's second to none, you know. If anything, you know, if he comes in, everyone gets frightened and don't say a word, you know. So.
But why do you think that is? Why do you think he commands the respect that he does?
Because he's been there, and he's lived life.
Yep.
You know.
So that's just a given. He's lived life. I'm going to listen, and that's it.
Yeah, because he talks sense. He talks sense. You know what I mean? He's known up and down the country. You know, and he's a good man. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
and he gives you good advice. He don't give you the wrong advice. And you know, I've listened to what he's told me so far, and I've gone right in life. You know.
Peter Fury on Sky Sports as a commentator. How do you think that would work out?
They're looking at using him on the next show with Nazim Ahmed. What do you reckon, Peter? You and Nazim Ahmed on Sky Sports as the commentator. That'd be TV gold, wouldn't it?
Naz will do it.
Yeah, I mean,
It's finished.
yeah.
On the subject, while we're closing, Chris Eubank Jr. and his father. Is it the end for Chris Eubank, and can he come back?
Chris Eubank, I said it a long time ago. When listen, I admit it, I was one of the only people like said I thought he was going to beat George Groves.
Right.
I thought he was going to beat George Groves, but obviously I believed the hype. The hype was rubbish, you know. But Chris Eubank ain't come on one cent since he got Billy Joe Saunders, and everyone talks about how he hits bags, does this. He can't even move his feet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I promise you now, I've beat Chris Eubank. I will beat Chris Eubank. I promise you. Swear to God.
So you would go up and wait and fight Eubank?
I guarantee you he'd not hit me, Chris Eubank. I swear to God. And if he did hit me, he wouldn't hurt me anyway.
Ooh. Okay. That could be interesting.
Yeah.
See you soon.
Yeah, cheers.